edition, we'll be hearing from Commander Barrand. We find out the latest info on kit and everything you need to know about AT. But first up, it's NCR and DRI. Now, I don't know about you guys, I can't believe it's been a couple of years since the SDSR was announced, and since then the Naval Service has been going through a massive period of restructuring. It is coming out the other side as a Navy in a completely different shape, and I know NCR and DRI are two key areas in this whole period of change. So between us all, I thought if we had a chat, maybe at the end of this we could come up with the answer as to exactly what they are and make it a little bit clearer for everybody. So I just want to start off with Will and Byron. Do you know what NCR stands for and what it means?
No idea. I don't know about yourself.
No, it's above my head, to be honest.
What about DRI? Are you in the dark with that as well?
Yeah, I don't really know either, to be honest.
Okay, Russ, what about you? What's NCR?
Well, firstly, NCR stands for Naval Command Review, and in basic terms, it means the Navy reviewing its manpower numbers.
So that's NCR. How do we come on to DRI? What's that all about?
DRI, standing for Defence Reform Implementation, complements that because it looks at the structures, the processes and the behaviours that the Royal Navy needs to implement to be able to execute its tasks given those manpowers. So the structures, from April 2012, we've reorganised where the responsibilities lie in the various organisations. So Force Generation has gone out to the operating bases from April 12. The Fleet Air Arm have always done that from the Naval Air Stations, as has 3 Commando Brigade for the Royal Marines, and we've taken that best practice and shared it. So by divesting that responsibility out to the front line, the headquarters now has the spare capacity to look at developing and delivering the future Navy.
I mean, I see it not entirely in a positive way, because it does have a sense in that it's going to affect manpower issues, and it is another cut to the Navy, I suppose, isn't it really?
Defence still requires the Navy to do all the things that we've been doing up till now, but we're going to do it with a leaner workforce. So what we're looking at is a project for implementing better business practices and changing our behaviours so that this workforce is going to work smarter rather than harder. Rolling out in the headquarters itself, we've consulted with the workforce of what it is that they're really concerned about that impedes them being efficient in their headquarters. And that's been done from the admirals down to the ratings. Everyone who's working here has a chance to raise their voice and get their concerns out. And we've produced a small booklet, which we call the 10 Small Steps. It's very much at the moment focused on the headquarters, what it is that they need, to be better motivated, better empowered to do their job.
Can you see how DRI will affect you personally? Because that's when it really matters, isn't it?
Fundamentally, it seems to sound like they want more out of me and more out of you. And making us more efficient, better at our jobs, and I don't think that's a bad thing at the end of the day.
In some respects, we've got to be smarter. I think for Will, he won't notice anything today, but maybe in 5 years' time, and where he sees that flotillas take on more responsibility.
Where I would see the front line seeing the improvements from the Defence Reform implementation here and now is that we will see less stories of kit coming in late or over budget or not doing the job that we require of it in Afghanistan, because the organisation that's taking charge of it is here in the headquarters and they know what the future Navy needs.
So Byron, what about DRI? What does that mean to you now?
DRI to me implies it's a way of delegating leadership out to flotillas, air stations, and developing a Navy that has a hands-on approach to what's actually their future direction, instead of it coming from a centralised position.
Yeah, would you agree with that, Russ?
It is about empowerment, it is about delegating responsibility, and it is about actually being affordable and more efficient, and actually the HQ taking on more responsibility from London.
Okay, so Will, there's been a lot of chat. If you were to go home tonight and your dad said, what is it? Tell me in a nutshell, keep it simple.
I'll be able to tell him just a basic knowledge from what I've picked up here today, but it's still quite a lot of information to digest, so I won't be able to go into greater detail.
Yeah, I think as far as a delivery point of view, I don't think that the AB as frontline necessarily needs to know what it means. I just think he needs to have confidence that the people working in HQ are working their socks off to actually have a Navy that is fit for purpose to 2015 and then 2015 and beyond. I think he's actually looking at what we're left with tomorrow, people, reductions, how we merge organisations together and how we better improve our working practices to deliver output that is fit for purpose at the front line. That is our key role.
So, Captain Thomas, to sum up now, how can people find out a little bit more about NCR and DRI? Obviously, these guys know a little bit more than they did at the start, but if people want to find out more, where do they go? Who do they ask?
I think the best place to be would to look on the Royal Navy intranet. We've got the NCHQ website there, and there's a knowledge wall where all this information is hosted, as well as points of contact if you wanted to fire in particular questions.